Right, how y'all doing? I could have started this vlog at like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning? Really? Did you not complain like all day yesterday how all you really want to do is sleep? Was it yesterday? Was it sometime over the last 2 billion years? I don't know. I'm really tired because I don't sleep, because I do other stupid things instead. So just everything blends into one. At some point over the last three and a bit decades, I've complained about being really tired. Well, stupidly, I got something stuck in my head that I wanted to do. And so instead of going to bed when I had the opportunity to, I went and did other stuff. I didn't finish doing other stuff. I started and I was like, no, I must go to bed. I must go to bed. Then I went to bed and I stayed awake because I was thinking about what it was that I wanted to do and should I really be doing it? This is part of what I was doing. Headset? What were you doing? Audio. I'm going to try and condense down as best I can. So you got another headset? Yes, which is actually partly the reason why I didn't get things finished because this wasn't due to arrive until later today. But another headset, yeah, like there's the EPOS from Sennheiser, Strix Go from Asus, and I've got so many headphones and stuff. I don't know, like too many to count. But hang on, look, here you go, Antline Mod Mic Wireless. There's an Antline Mod Mic laying around here somewhere on the floor too, but I wanted to start rerouting all of my audio because I wanted to have the same kind of groove as my Elgato Wave 3 and my Go XLR, but on my laptop without using a Wave or the Go XLR. Why? Well, the Wave 3 has an odd quirk on my Zephyrus G14 in that if I don't plug it into a USB-C port, if I plug it into, so there's a USB-C port, a USB-C port, two USB-A ports. If I plug into a USB-A port and then plug in a wireless mouse dongle, it just stops working. It's on, it just won't take audio. Windows has a hissy fit. And so you have to be really careful where you start plugging things in on the on per port. It doesn't get happy. In fact, the camera that I'm using right now has to again be plugged into a very specific port over a USB-C dongle. You can't plug it into USB-A or it doesn't work at all. And it's just, this laptop's a bit of a ball ache. And the Go XLR works fine, but it's big and it's a nightmare. Even the Mini is a bit too big for me to realistically just throw in my bag, and I don't want to whip around, microphones and cables and boards and stuff like that for just something like this where I just want to sit and talk in front of a camera. And I kind of got it into my head that, well, I've got a Blue Yeti Nano. This is a nice little microphone. And Blue released a program called Blue Voice, which is an EQ compressor, gate, all that kind of stuff, just all smushed into one to just kind of allow you to tweak the sound profile of the microphones. You didn't have to do it in stuff like OBS. You didn't have to download extra programs. It would give you a very basic equalizer to change the bass, the mids and the treble, and you could apply DSs, compressors, noise filters, that kind of stuff, just to give you that kind of thing. And it comes with a bunch of different presets and stuff, and it's okay. In fairness, the Yeti Nano with the right presence actually has a decent sound anyway, but people like to crank the bass, drop the mids, and crank the treble. They like to give it that California smile V curve, but there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a thing you can do. This, the Logitech G Pro X, is basically an iteration of another headset that I used to use back in the day. There's another Logitech headset that had a USB sound card on it. That was actually a pretty good headset, but the new version of it is supported by Blue Voice, and right now what you're hearing is the Logitech headset going through its own DAC and then going through the what is it? It's the Broadcaster 2 preset in Blue Voice. I haven't tweaked it much. I've got a couple of different profiles that I can try and use just to basically see if I can come up with something serviceable. I like a lot of these other headsets, but they sound better going in through the main laptop. So, okay, that's partly why you're faffing, or that's the kind of thing you want to, because the Blue, the Nano, doesn't have a hissy fit when I plug in a mouse. The Go XLR doesn't have a hissy when I plug in the mouse, but the Wave does. And it absolutely does my head in that I have to shuffle things around just to get things to work. So I was just like, I'll just come up with a quick and dirty low end setup just so maybe I can bang out a stream in the middle of the boonies or whatever. I've got so much kit, it's not even funny. So yeah, but then the other thing was to be able to do something that I do with the Go XLR and I've done with mixing boards in the past and with the Wave 3, in that I can mute channels. So the Go XLR has multiple different channels that it gives you stereo outputs for. So you could have like chat on a channel, a microphone on a channel, the desktop on a channel, and you can mute and all that kind of stuff for them. So like, I don't know, let's say, for example, I wanted to talk to people on Discord, but I didn't want that stuff to go out to my stream. I could mute those channels. Well, I decided a software solution would be, people are going to cringe after I say it, Voice Meter Banana. Like VB Cable's Voice Meter. Yeah, anyone that knows me would know that I've never really gotten on with Voice Meter, but it's a nice little software way of doing basically what I was doing with the Wave, and that now I've got 3 inputs for desktop audio, voice chat audio, and that all goes in through the Voice Meter mixer. And then if I ever decide to, like, I can mute people in the chat on the stream so we can still talk on my Be Right Back screen or my, doing whatever screen and still a chat. I don't really know if I don't think this sounds particularly great, but either way, that's partly why I didn't sleep. And I've now installed a bucket of software, Logitech G Hub, the Go XLR app, all the stuff for the Wave, and Voice Meter. And I do have this OCD issue where if I have to uninstall something, I start to get a bit raggy with it, and I was starting to wonder at like 0 o'clock in the morning, which is what was keeping me up. Like, am I just gonna have to go downstairs and nuke it? And the wife said to me, "Well, you should have probably stayed up to do the thing because it was stuck in your head, and if you'd have finished it, you'd have probably been able to sleep better." I was like, "Yeah, but I didn't have all the bits." So that's the groove. I already put up a video of the EPOS, and I quite like the EPOS, except the only trouble is that Windows does some janky stuff with the headphones, in that it causes them to. I don't know if it's necessarily a Windows thing, but if you turn off Windows enhancements, they're not hugely bassy. They distort with Windows enhancements turned on. They or at least on my machine they do. Turn off the enhancements and they actually sound all right. And a lot of people have complained about that kind of stuff. But yeah, the microphone on them, I think, is pretty solid for a headset. And same realistically for the Strix Go. This is a wireless headset, but if you use it wired, the microphone sounds better. All of these things sound better wired. Realistically, this isn't a wireless microphone, but I haven't bothered to try and hook it into the main doobly-doo of my laptop. I'm just going straight through the DAC that comes with it. Yeah, just prattling about with audio and not the sleeping. But the ability to just do everything as I would on another machine without all the extra fluff. I am a tad concerned that Voice Meter will be adding in latency. Right now, the microphone's just going directly through Blue Voice and into Open Broadcast software, so there wouldn't be any real latency there other than what would normally be there kind of thing. Voice Meter would add in around 10, 15 milliseconds of lag, so about a frame of lag at 60 FPS, but so it shouldn't really be noticeable, but I do tend to worry about that kind of stuff you can adjust for anyway, but I'd rather run through a DSP or a full analog mixer or whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, highlight of my day, given that I felt absolutely crap and everyone has just told me to sleep, was that I mentioned in another video, my family don't drive. None of us drive in this house. I don't drive, wife don't drive, obviously the kids don't drive, Doggo don't drive, he'd like to, but we don't drive. And I have a motorcycle license, but that's not a lot of cop when you got a family. And in fairness, actually, I don't have a license right now due to government lollygagging. Would that be the right one? Dilly dallying, taking their time, dragging their feet. So, no drive. And there are times when we have literally, let's say we've bought something from a shop, we walk pretty much everywhere, And we used to have our rickshaw, which got sold recently, and we joked that that was Charly's car. Charly the Doggo, the rickshaw was his car, and we'd drive him places. Well, today, my Doggo got a new car. Charly got a new car. We got one of those bike trailers. We had one when the kids were little, but since we got rid of the rickshaw, the wife said, look, we might as well have one because she's still got to transfer and transport stuff around town for some of the stuff that she does. So she got the trailer, this bright orange trailer, and we've dubbed it again Jolly Car because it matches his lead. And he hopped in the back, and we took him down the park for a walk after going for a drive in Jolly Car. And it's neat because literally we have gone to shops, done full shops like supermarket shops, gone for big mile long walks, many miles, and we've loaded up like hikers backpacks with groceries and all that kind of stuff, and I've carried them back home. You can have stuff delivered, but just sometimes we're like, yeah, we need to get some bits and bobs, and I just walk down there just because I like to walk. Yeah, the highlight was literally we got a trailer. We got a new bike trailer to replace the rickshaw. And it was funny because the wife said how with the dog in the back, it feels just like when the boys were little and they used to be in a trailer and or in a little bike trailer. We used to take them to school, and as they'd kind of rock with the trailer, it kind of caused the bike to. And yes, that was just like such a blast from the past. Such a blast from the past. But that has realistically been my other day. Faffing with audio, talking the completely broken to a camera there now because I am so tired. One day I will go to sleep and just walking with the dog and the park. The look on his face. By the way, that water bit, that was there used to be a bridge. There'd been a bridge there for 20, 30 plus years, and just recently they ripped it down. No idea why. Should probably ask at some point. But yeah, I was just like, what is that? Where's the bridge? It's like, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. This is an idea of just using what you got to try and do things as best you can. Don't always need to have my big boy microphones hooked up. A headset's good enough. I'm not really particularly keen on headsets, though. I've not really found a headset that I'm completely satisfied with, and the fact that I'm going through or have voice meter running is probably freaking a load of people out. But it'll do. It's just so I can mute chat and talk to people and do little streams on the Zephyrus, all because of the USB issues I have with certain hardware being comboed with it. It's weird. I guess it's just it's a USB bandwidth limitation when you plug in a USB 2 device into a USB 3 port. There's some jiggery pokery going on there, and they're just not happy. But that means that you have to be aware, you have to be conscious of where you're plugging things in if you want them to work properly. And sometimes it seems like a bit more faff than it really needs to be. So I was like, you know what? I could really do with a chill setup, which in fairness was the EPOS, other than the Crackline. I still really, really, really like these. And realistically the same with the Strix Go. I really, really like these too. But then I also like to put on a pair of HD 600s or something, or where's them IEMs? I had a set of IEMs by my leg. Here you go. Or just like a set of monitors, and yeah. This is only realistic. I ain't going to do this like anything hardcore with this, but if I'm just doing a stream, a live stream or something, there's a ceiling for quality on live streaming. You're not going to be like, if you get like broadcast quality gear, like thousands and thousands of pounds worth of kit, right? As long as you hit that ceiling, everything else, like they say, they sound the same. As long as the gear and you can hit that ceiling, you're wasting everything that goes after that. So it could be like cheap gear goes there, broadcast gear goes here. But if the ceiling is cut off like just here, you're wasting all of that extra. The difference will be negligible because of all the compression and stuff like that. So just something like this for an on-the-go runabout kind of rig would be rad. And the fact that Blue Voice and other software will allow you to EQ, like Voice Meter will let you EQ, Blue Voice will let you EQ. It allows me to do some EQ-y stuff like I might do on a Go XLR on a mixer board, and hopefully get a reasonable sound, but nothing too super hardcore. But I'm gonna head off. Hope you're well. One day I'll get a good night's sleep. One day I'll just stop being OCD going, I'm not really OCD, because actual OCD is like just, I couldn't imagine what that would be like. But, you know, just because when I get something in my head, I need to just process that idea before I can actually, sleep or settle. It's weird just laying there trying to do something to not do something to relax kind of thing. I can't really explain how it would work. Yeah. What do you think to Charly car? He looks so cute when he's in it. A little bit like, what the fuck? I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. I will never be satisfied with headphones. I'll have millions of pairs by the time I snuff it. Trillions of microphones, or just because I like to have spares. I like different sounds. I like the way different things are tuned. And it's just fun to play with this stuff.